There's a problem. I lost £10,000. In this video, I talk about the 3 mistakes that I made, and I'm telling them to you because I don't want you to make the exact same mistakes that I did. I ended up losing £10,000 a month in sales, and that's just one of my mistakes. So let's go through the 3 mistakes. The first mistake I made is that I calculated Amazon's fees to be around the 35% mark, and that was using Amazon's profit calculator. When in actual fact, when you include the referral fees, the Amazon fees, any returns that come through, and storage charges, this fee actually came up to 50% of the retail selling price. Not knowing this, I calculated my profit margin to be 40%, which is fantastic, and I was like, woohoo! But then I quickly realized, ran the calculations, ran through all of my invoices, and made sure that I knew exactly what Amazon was charging. So after I took into account the 50%, my profit margin went down to 23%. Now I was lucky, because I had enough room for maneuver, I was okay taking 23%. I was still making a profit. So when you're running your numbers and doing a profit analysis, make sure you're trying to target at least around a 30% margin, and take into account that Amazon's fees are going to be around the 50% mark. Now this may not be the case for all products. Generally speaking, it's around the 50% mark. So the second mistake I made was around the price point. My product was selling for $10.95. Now I always assumed that I needed a product that was selling above 10. So $10.95 hit that point. However, when I launched my product and actually became top seller, I took a lot of sales from all the other sellers, which they probably weren't too happy about. This began a price war. I had to drop my price to below 8 just to keep the sales volume going. Now at this price level, I was still making a profit, but it became really small. And the amount of work that you put in up front and the amount of money that you put in up front is just not worth it. So when I look at products now, including my new products, I only look at products that are over $20 or £20. If I do go down to $15 or £15, it means I'm trying to find a bundling opportunity where I could put the price up to well above $20 or £20. So with a price point of $20 or £20 or more, and a profit margin of 30%, taking into account Amazon fees of 50%, you should be achieving a decent profit and is well worth the time and effort that you've put in. Here's the big one, the one that lost me £10,000 in under a month in sales. So the third and final one is preparing for peak periods. So the peak period I'm talking about that I did not prepare for was Christmas. This is the biggest shopping period online on Amazon for the whole year. I didn't do my analysis and my sales tripled over Christmas. I was absolutely not prepared for it. I ran out of stock really quickly, which made me lose £10,000 in sales, which is approximately £2,500 in total profit. Now Jungle Scout had this information. I was able to do an analysis on this, but I didn't. I want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes like this. So let's summarize so you learn from my mistakes. Make sure your profit margin is at 30%. Taking into account that Amazon's fees are 50%. Make sure you've got a price point where you're selling at £20 or $20 or above. This will give you the flexibility and breathing space if you need it. And finally, make sure you prepare for peak periods. Now your product may not have peak periods. It may be consistent throughout the year, which is brilliant. Or if you do have products that sell more over a peak period, make sure you look out for those. So Christmas, winter, summer, just depending on your product. Make sure you use Jungle Scout to check. The information is there. I just want to say, I don't want any of this to put you off. These things can happen, but it's not a detriment to your business. You'll always get your money back, as long as you know what you're doing. That's probably the biggest risk, is that you put in the time and the only thing you achieve is your money back. But you learn a hell of a lot. So don't let it put you off. It is really simple. Just make sure that you're educating yourself from the right people who have made mistakes and know what they're doing. Then make sure you take action and start. So make sure you take the smart approach, just like Ty Lopez says. If you found this video useful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe so I know to make more videos like this one. Have you ever made any mistakes in business? I'd love to hear your story. Comment below. I've lost 10K! If you found this video useful, make sure you hit that like